Swadika.
Swadika.
Welcome to another edition of Frankly Feeding. I've got here with me Marinella, who's the General Manager of Barings, and Banu, who's one of our head chefs. Before we go any further, I just want to talk to you about some health and safety points. We do have in the back here some hand sanitizers. Be very careful when you're using knives. Choose knives that you sort of are comfortable with. Hold knives preferably at the middle of the handle. It gives you a balance. Keep them down when not in use. Chopping boards, I'm sure you know it. Place some kind of a wet cloth or non-slips underneath so it doesn't move around when you're chopping. Take care of your fingers. That's the most important part.
Don't lose any.
Don't lose any. It's a good point. It's a very good point. I've got all mine before I start. So the most important thing is hand washing. Wash as often as you can, because we're going to be dealing today with prawns, shrimps. We're dealing with tofu, a lot of high-risk items here. And so before I start, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through the day. Because one of the key elements of how Thai food works is prep. You have to have everything around you, because cooking is what we call the fierce heat. It's cooked on high heat. It probably takes 2 to 3 minutes to cook on a very high heat, but the main job is the prep around us. I've got my able assistant. He's very good with his chopping. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start off with making the most important ingredient in Pad Thai, the Pad Thai sauce. A little bit of history. We have given it in the bio as we started, but the point here is in 1935, Thailand was going through the war. They had Phibin, who was the new ruler, who took over to be the prime minister. He needed the way to get the economy moving. So what he did was, he said, let's create a new flag, a new name. So from Siam, the country became Thailand. They got a new flag. And what they then got is, he wanted a dish that everybody understands. So we bring to you that dish, the 5th most popular dish in the world, and a chef's paradise. When I say chef's paradise, it's complete umami, the sweets, the sours, and every flavor possible, and all the parts that's there. So let's get started.
How long would you say it takes you to make the prep? Not the cooking, not the preparing the dish, just the prep.
Okay. So give yourself 30 to 40 minutes. Because what you've got on so what you've got on the recipe is for 4 portions. Yeah? So give about 30 to 40 minutes to have everything done. We're going to guide you through every little element of it, so that you know what the Thai are good at. The Thai are very good at cutting vegetables, carving vegetables. Thailand itself is a country where carving is very big. So any dish that they do, any way they cut it, we'll show you that they all have different angles where you have to cut it. So give yourself a good 30 minutes at least. Now I could do that in 10, 12 minutes. I'm sure, but we've been doing this for a long time. But we'll try to put them all together and show you the quick and possible way. What we're doing is, first is the prep, then we're doing the cooking, and then we're going to show you a little bit of how you can present this plate. Yeah, there's no hard and fast rules here. Rules is what you make. That's how I cook. I cook with my own rules. Should we start, Chef?
Yeah.
Should we?
Perfect.
Shall we start with the
sauce? No, first the sauce.
You're going with the sauce?
Yeah. Okay. So don't forget to put on the hob. When that gets a little bit warm, what we're going to need for the Pad Thai sauce, basically, is palm sugar. Yeah.
If I don't have any in my pantry, what could I use instead?
Okay. Very good question. This one.
Could you advise on having the substitute, or would you rather go for the palm?
There are many substitutes because the idea of palm sugar is to add the sweetness to it. So palm sugar is a sweetener. So you could add sugar, you could add honey, you could add brown sugar, which is sort of a more
closer
to thing. And hence, if you see, we've said it in the recipe that you could use brown sugar. These things are easily available nowadays. When I was a kid, I used to just chew on these all the time. All the time. I've got a weakness for these things.
Don't say that, my daughter's watching it.
It is very sweet. Okay, so we're going to have to chop this up. And then we've got some tamarind puree. Now, these are ready available in the shops. Yeah. If not, if you don't have it, you could just use lemon juice. Unfortunately, one of the depths of this dish is the tamarind. It's how the sauce is made. So I could just say, add lemon juice, but it's not going to give you the body that you're going to be expecting. And then we've got some dried shrimps, which is optional. Yeah. You've got chili garlic sauce. You've got some chopped garlic. You've got some chopped coriander and fish sauce. Now, you don't have to use any of these, especially the prawns and the fish sauce. If you're allergic to any of them, you can't find them in your pantry, that's absolutely fine. What the fish and the fish sauce does is it adds to that taste. The whole umami factor of this is from here. And we're going to show you how to get this one chopped up first, the palm sugar. Chef, can you do us the honors?
Yeah. With the knife, you can just shred it. It'll become like a powder.
Or you can just put it in a cloth and
and you can
smash it up.
Smashed up, yeah.
Now there's a reason why we're doing this is because if you put this whole piece in there, it's going to take ages to cook. Yeah, so we want the sauce to be done as soon as possible. So we're going to start with this. Chef, can you chop some garlic? Get a little bit of oil in the pan. Okay, when the pan's very hot, get the garlic in. Okay. Don't let the garlic brown, that's important. At this point, give it about a minute or so. Get the prawns in so the flavor of the prawn comes out. And then what I tend to do is get the tamarind puree in, get the sugar in, a quick stir. But this should take you no more than a minute because what you're going to do is you're going to let it cook. Get a glass of water and judge it how you want. You could put a little at a time to let it sort of thicken up so that it doesn't burn. Now, if you look at it, traditionally, if you went to Thailand, and the recipe that I've got is from a place called Koh Samui, where, on my frequent trips, I do eat at this particular place. You could, with experience and the kind of experience they have, they tend to pour everything in while they're cooking. But what we've done is, to make it easy so that we don't have any tragedies in the kitchen, we've come up with this recipe where so once that starts boiling, get the chili sauce in and the fish. Okay. Do you want to smell this?
It smells amazing from here. It absolutely does.
So for the vegetarians, we can avoid the fish sauce, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think, the idea with this is, with the whole thing of veganism, vegetarianism, there's no reason why you shouldn't, be a part of this. Yeah. Just substitute all of this fish, sauce, prawns with about, 75 ml of light soy sauce. The reason it's light soy sauce is it's going to have too much salt. So just to reduce that salt, you got that. And then just to finish it off, chuck that in and let it cool down. Now that sauce will come into play later.
So that's about it?
Yeah.
So it's done?
Yes.
That's how. So what we've done is, to make it easy for you at home, we've come up with this, okay? Because what we're going to do now is, the sauce is going to come in later to be cooking, yeah?
Yeah.
And now, should we get on to the prep?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'll start with the leeks. Okay, leeks, we just cut into half. Just split it into half, and you need to give an angle, and it should be a bit of thick. Give a good wash and drain it. So we
So
already
do we wash that first, or are we going to wash it
no
later?
Later is the best, because in the layers sometimes you can find the sand and everything, so you can feel it. So it's better, I'll suggest like cut and then wash it.
Okay. What's next? So next we're getting on to some spring onions.
Spring onions, and spring onions, you just need to split into half, the thicker parts, and you can cut into an inch.
So I noticed the vegetables are quite roughly chopped, and not very fine. Is there a reason behind it?
Yes, because when we start cooking, you asked me earlier, have we done the sauce so fast? It's because when we get it into the main cooking part, you're going to be cooking this for a little bit longer. So the smaller it is, the finer it is, you won't see it in the dish.
So it gives a bit more crunch.
More crunch and more visibility to the dish. The idea was, Thai everything is colorful, so they needed to be seen in that front.
And the onions, you can use the white onions, red onions, shallot onions. Normally I am using it. And same again, in an angle, you just need to cut in a thick pieces. And onions are ready. You got ginger, just bit of slice. We just need to chop. So
okay, so here, obviously, we're showing off because we want to show you how to chop ginger and garlic. You could just about, put them into a little NutriBullet and sort of make a puree out of it. But personally, having chopped ginger and garlic, and when you eat it and you feel that bite in your mouth, it's a very Asian thing, ginger and garlic. It's predominant in the Asian food. In Asian countries, almost every dish does have this in one form or the other. Okay, now what we've got here is, if you look at it from the recipe, so we've got the leeks, we showed you how to cut the spring onions, the onions. He's now going to show you how to cut chilies and the tofu. What I've done here is, for ease and so that you and me are on the same note, I've got it all pre-weighed to the recipes that we've got out to you, so that we both are making a similar kind of a dish. Chef?
yeah. Shall I go with the
Yeah,
spices
go ahead.
here?
Okay. While the chef's cutting his chilies, and we're going to cut the tofu next. Okay, just let's go through the whole list again, because we are going to start cooking. Just to see we've got everything. Like I said in the beginning, the key to all this is the amount of prep we do. Yeah, can we show them the tofu? Now, if you look at the tofu that we've got, don't get the softer version, get the firm one. because we are going to be cooking this for a while, and the softer version will break. So we've got your very firm tofu, which ideally, you're going to be cutting it and draining it for overnight to bring out as much water as possible. But we've drained this for almost 3 hours now, and it's still got some bit of water in it. What you want to do is, on the high heat, you don't want it to stick to the pan. So that's a bit of diced tofu. Yeah. And the next thing we're going to do is we are going to, because we've got most of our prep ready here, we're going to show you pickled radish. Now the idea with pickled radish, right, is traditionally what you would have inside a pad thai is you would have a sweet radish, as it's called. So radish that's been sort of candied and dried down. We've come up with this so that you find this in the supermarket. It's okay if you don't find it, but it sort of adds a very good texture to the whole element of the pad thai. What you need to do is you need to julienne it very thin. So first, get it sliced up into these little rounds, yeah. And then what you do is put them together and slice them up, and what you'd get is, very fine julienne. So what are you going to add to this?
So how are you going to pickle the radish?
Okay.
Okay, I'll let you know now. Okay, I julienne the radish and everything.
Yeah. There you go, chef. Talk us through.
Okay. And I'm going to add rice vinegar and mirin. So 4, where's the, yeah.
Teaspoon?
So 4 teaspoons per 100 grams of radish.
So would you pickle this beforehand, or would you?
And
can you do while you pickle
ideally,
mirin is going to be 1.
Ideally 24 hours. Ideally.
Okay.
But as you pickle it now and we leave it for the next 10 minutes,
4 sugar
the process will start.
teaspoons.
The process starts because we've got, the first thing is the rice vinegar. Rice vinegar starts working. Mirin, which is a kind of a sweet sake, less in alcohol content. So there's a sweetness, a sourness, and a bit of sugar to take that bitterness of the radish out.
So just mix all 4 ingredients together and just leave it on the side. So it will get, by the time pad thai ready, your pickle will be ready to eat.
So what we've given you is, that's like one portion in a bowl. So you could keep it at home, and whenever you're eating it with your rice, it's a kind of pickling out kimchi. This is the same process. Only thing is there's no chilies in it, and you could just use it with your stir fries. You can keep it in a bottle, and you'll see it getting really good as the days move on. Okay.
You want to start, chef?
Yeah, I want to see if, do we have any questions? Are we ready? We've got all our prep?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like I said to you before, prep is the most important thing. We've done the prep. We are trying to, let you sort of do this with us. So, bear with us and, so we can move this. Okay, chef. We're going to start the cooking process, and the first thing I'm going to do is, because I want to get it all in one pot, the chef here has got something up his sleeve. He hasn't told me that yet, but I'm going to show you the traditional way. Yeah, so, I think him and me, we have many arguments on this one as to, why I do it the longer way. So, I'm going to start. I get some oil in. don't get scared of a hot pan, because the whole idea with Pan-Asian cooking is the hot pan. The whole idea of this is getting the hot pan. The hotter it is, the less water that comes out of the prawn. Okay? Stir it for about 30 seconds. Now what you don't want is, you don't want prawns that are overcooked, you know, and then they turn to be like rubber. So a very quick stir fry is because I don't want my prawns to be cooking too much even later. Yeah, so there you go. I'm going to take this off. Okay, yeah. Let that rest for a little bit. You can see the prawns have been a bit translucent. The worst thing you can ever do in a pad thai is try to have prawns that are like, you know, dried out. Okay. So they look nice and juicy. Okay. Now, don't go about washing that pan. It's only the juice of the prawns. It'll give you that nice flavor of the prawn. A little bit of oil more. Okay. Get the shallots. Get your leeks. Okay. Move to the side, because you're going to do it all together now. Get your tofu in. Okay. At this point, now, bean sprouts, make sure they're washed. It's very, very important. When you use bean sprouts, wash them twice, at least. And then cook them through and through. I tend to put this very early in my cooking, because I want it to be really cooked through, because the hazards of having a raw bean sprout is, you know, you've got things like salmonella, you could get sick. So make sure that you're cooking it properly. Okay. So while that's cooking, I want to talk to you about what brought about the whole pad thai. Is this little thing here called the rice noodles. Now, it's everybody's own wish of what size they want to use. Do they want to use vermicelli kind of noodles? I tend to go for the 5 millimeters because I like it the way it's cooked. Anything smaller, I just think, you know, doesn't hold in the pan, but that's my personal opinion. You could go for the 2 millimeters that you could use. You will get a lot of people turning around and saying, you know, why can't we pre-cook it and get it in here? I don't do that because I want my sauces to sort of cook the raw noodle through and through. I'm going to get this in here. Okay. Now when this is in, you'll see that, you know, it's going to go down in size, it's going to start cooking. At this point, because they're all going to come together and they're probably going to be stuck too much, I would get in a little bit of the sauce, yeah, first. And let that sauce do the job. You know, the important thing is you want the sauce to be cooking the noodle so that, you know, when you eat it, you've got a bite. I always get asked by many people, why haven't I gotten things like, you know, eggs and stuff? The thing is, to get eggs in and, you know, cook it for, say, the 6 minutes that I want to cook it, that's like overcooking an egg. What you want is, you want that taste of egg to last in the pot, okay? And then comes the most important part is, now I'm going to get what we call is the flavor bit of the noodle. Because what you got there is the sauce. So you get in your spring onions, chilies. I like a lot of them. You can put it to whatever taste you prefer. A little bit of ginger, a little bit of garlic. Because you want to feel that rawness of the ginger and the garlic, you know, the taste of it. Okay? Now, move it all to the side. Get a little bit of oil. Okay? And what we've got is, we've got some beaten egg here. Now get the eggs in. Now, everyone's got their own ways. I personally, from what I've learned, I feel this is probably the best way to get the egg in at the last minute. So you're not overcooking it. Stir it up. Okay. So that's my version of the pad thai. Chef, you agree with that?
Yes, chef. But I got some other version to show you because.
See, he's always got another one, yeah? Okay, let's see yours, chef. Let's go. You want a pot?
Yes, please.
Okay. You need to ask him why. That's a bit too much, yeah? I spent the last 20 minutes explaining this, and now the chef is going to. Okay. Take it away, chef.
Till I get the prep ready.
Okay.
Okay. Normally, what I'm going to do is, I understand this the way he's cooked as an authentic way and everything is good. The thing is, sometimes we got rush hours, so we running around and everything. Sometimes we might come home late, or sometimes we just need to finish the food quickly. So I just want to check everything into bag, and I'll show you what way I'm going to do it. So here, I got the.
I already like it better, and he hasn't even started.
Yeah, you know, they did tell me that they're going to gang up on me, yeah, on this one. Okay, chef.
So.
Can I go?
Okay, so it's all the vegetables are in. Your ginger, garlic, leeks.
Okay, the idea with this one is, you know, you could, with the current situation and all of us working from home, and you know, you feel like you want to eat this when you come back in the evening when you're done work. What you can do is you can bag this all up. So you prep it the day before, you put it into a bag, you can just leave it in the fridge, it'll remain there. And that, I think that's what the chef is trying to beat me at, is, you know, how can we adapt to it differently? And to many of you who are watching us at this moment, you know, you sort of agree that this is probably
egg inside?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is everything I'm going to mix in a bag, and
it's just easier to have that in a fridge, and you can, you know, go to work, come back in the evening, or you can have a pad thai.
They can make the you all can make the preps and keep it inside, but the only thing is eggs. Add it on the last minute. And just you need to shake it, so everything is gonna mix up.
Yeah,
you did out the wrong or you going to give it? So once oil is ready, just you need to check everything into a pan. Thank you.
So you have the noodles cooked beforehand? The rice
No,
noodles?
we just soaked it, but normally I'm cooking now actually with the vegetables.
So you soak them beforehand?
Yeah, we soak them about,
then you just have them all together in the pan.
Like I said earlier, you know, some people want to just blanch this in hot water.
Yeah.
But you got to remember, the whole idea of the rice noodles and why it came about was the rice noodles uses 50% less rice. So it's made of starch that's blended together and then they dry it into sheets. So it's a kind of a pre-cooked product already, and then it's dried out. Yes, you know, if you want it the quicker way, people tend to put hot water to sort of, you know, get it back to life. But personally, for the kind of strength it's got, with the sauce, it will cook. See, it's already, if you look at it now, it's already become soft and cooked.
So you cook it until the egg looks...
Yeah, egg, and you can see the way even vegetables getting sauteed and everything. And yeah, even I prefer always my noodles to be soaked in the cold water and then start cooking. So I'm going to add the seasoning, the sauce.
So what you're going to have to do at this point is, you know, wait till the egg is cooked. The vegetables are a bit crunchy. As you have the sauce, there's more steam into it. And that steam will sort of steam up the rest of the vegetables you got. And if you look at it, most of the vegetables we've got in there, you can just eat them raw.
Yeah.
You don't really need to cook them too much.
So I'm going to add the seasoning now, the sauce, what just chef made.
Have you realized we haven't got any salt around us?
It's a lot of salt in the fish sauce.
Exactly. The fish sauce has got salt.
So
you know, the million's got salt in it. That chili garlic sauce has got salt. So what's the point of adding more salt to it? You know.
Yeah, it's almost done now.
Okay. Oh. So like I said in the beginning of the show, the first part of our dish today was the prep and how we took everything to where we want. The second part was the cooking. We've now done the cooking. I've showed you the traditional, you know, one-pot way, and the chef here has shown you how you can adapt to it, you know, with your working thing. And this, you could do this for any kind of stir fry, anything. Just chuck it in a bag, chuck some egg, shake it up, cook it together. If you look at it, both of them, mine looks better, obviously. That's important. No. What I'm trying to say is, this looks a bit darker, because if you went down to Thailand, what they have is they have these big iron pots that they sort of have it on, and hence I've taken this, because this resembles as close as possible to the texture. And the chef's here is a lot lighter, because you cooked a little bit lesser than I have done it. And now we're going to have another challenge where we're going to be challenging each other. We're going to be challenging Marinella. She didn't know that. We just added that on. I'm going to show you a way to plate.
Can I have a third way of plating it?
Yeah. And then, you know, we judge it ourselves.
This is when I'm challenging you now.
You'll win. You'll win. Trust me. She is very good. Okay. I am going to show you my way, which is, a lot of people do this in Thailand. You know, a lot of people, this is how it was created. The whole idea was to encase the cooked product in an egg. So Get a nice hot pan, okay? Now I know we're going off script from this, but the idea was, what I was trying to prove to you here was, you got a basic recipe. If you went to Thailand, you came to this country, you know, where it was imported to, everyone has their own ways. And the most important thing is, you do it the way you like it and you add the flavors that you like it. You can always have a base recipe. With Pad Thai, it was created in such a way that it went away so people spoke about it. You know, there's a reason why that word Thai was added into it, because it went further down the seas and you knew Thailand. That was the purpose. You know, this was created only, what 85 years ago, but the idea was that. And hence, we showed you the versions. Now, what I showed you is traditional. What he showed you was something that is being practiced now with a lot of restaurants that you go to. So we've shown you what we can do. Okay. So if you want to try my version, should we say vote number 1 or no? If you want to try my version and you like it, you press the like. Yeah. If you like his, you subscribe to the channel.
If you press mine, I'll give you a glass of wine when you come back.
Oh.
Yeah, I think she won it already. I'll see you guys later. Okay? Okay.
So this is part of your presentation
My
of
presentation
the dish.
of the dish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which you'll have the dish wrapped in an egg.
In an egg, yeah.
Okay.
So, you want to take it? Yeah, this is take that. This is not.
Jerome says he's already voted for it.
What's that?
Jerome just said he's voted for marinara.
I'm winning and I haven't even plated it.
Okay. While we're waiting for my egg to be done, I'm going to let the chef do his plating.
Okay, I'll say mine.
Okay. We've got a plate here for you, Mandela.
Okay.
You want to talk us through what you're going to do, Mandela? We won't copy it, but...
No, I'll let you go first.
Okay. Okay, with mine, I'm going to get some noodles in the center. Chef, you want to talk through yours?
Okay. Mine, I'm just going with the normal plating. Like.
Let's clear up this because we want to...
Okay, I'm going to give some garnish on top. Some roasted crushed peanuts. You just roast it and just crush it normally in a bag or something. Some finely chopped spring onions and some nice crispy shallot onions and some pickle. I think that. Yeah.
Okay. Come on, Mandela. You can start yours.
Some pig coriander. Very warm.
trying so hard, but don't forget my glass of wine.
She's selling it hard, isn't it? Okay. Go right now. Do you need a judge? You know, I was going to call Mark over here to sort of be the judge, but she's ahead of her.
I'm keeping YouTube.
Okay, so the idea was, what I've got here is a very traditional pad thai. You know, very, very traditional. If you go through it, that's how you eat it. What the chef here has presented to you is a more modern way. And what we tried to tell you today was, you know, you could do anything you like. I was about to say, you know, eat till your stomach is full. Manuel is ahead of that. And thank you very much for watching us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, chefs. And enjoy.
Enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you.